My name is Chris Bongat, and I know you don't know who I am. But if you think I'm funny tonight and you want to see more, you could find me on Tinder. I'm on there most nights. No, I don't have a Tinder. I do all my online dating exclusively on this dating app called LinkedIn. It's a weird dating app. I'll be honest with you, the days I've been going on have been super intense. The ladies on LinkedIn don't mess around. They'll ask for weird shit like your resume. This one lady was particularly forward. Our first date was in her office. And as soon as I sat down, she was like, "Mr. Bongat, what position do you want?" I was like, "Damn, girl, slow down. I'm a gentleman, so I'll just do your favorite." She was like, "No, I need to know what type of job you want." I was like, "Oh, blow. I want the blow type of job. I'm a 30-year-old virgin. By choice. It's just my personal belief that you should hold off on sex until someone wants to have sex with you. That's a good policy." It's been a big week for me. A couple days ago, I finally got my black belt in Kung Fu. Thank you. But honestly, anyone could do it. It just takes hard work, dedication, $13.50 in an Amazon account. Yeah. You can just buy a black belt. No one is checking to see if you know Kung Fu. Actually, I have Amazon Prime, so I got my black belt in 2 days. They're calling me a Kung Fu prodigy. But we're gonna keep that between us, because if people find out you can just buy a black belt, next week it's gonna be the goddamn Kung Fu apocalypse. Which A, I call dibs on that band name. B, would be way more interesting than a zombie apocalypse. Mr. President, we have bad news from Chicago. Seems like Kung Fu fighting has broken out in the streets. Well, is anyone taking responsibility for this attack? Who exactly was Kung Fu fighting? Well, sir, you're never gonna believe this. It was everybody. That's right. Kung Fu jokes up in this bitch. You know what, actually I say bitch way too much. But I never use it to describe women. I always thought that was rude and sexist, but my friend, she brought up a good point. She was like, "Chris, if you're calling everything and everyone a bitch but women, you're effectively treating us differently based solely on our gender. And that, by definition, is sexist." Bitch, that's confusing. I feel like that one's not on me. Sometimes people use expressions to illustrate a point, but some people forget that there's a second part to that expression, which is a problem because it changes the whole meaning. For example, great minds think alike. That one is an expression that implies that intelligent people have similar trains of thought. But there's a second part. Great minds think alike, though fools seldom differ. Now it means that agreeing with people 100% of the time is dangerous, because you get enough people that think that something super, super dumb is super, super smart, and all of a sudden there's like 8 Fast and the Furious movies. I'm sorry. That's not fair, I didn't read the books. Blood? There's no books. Blood is thicker than water. That one emphasizes the importance of family over friendship, but no one's actually saying that one right. The actual expression is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Just rolls off the tongue. I don't know why they shortened it. Now it means the opposite. It's actually the relationships you choose that are more meaningful than the ones you're born into, and that makes way more sense to me, because you know what, at the end of the day, your family, your parents, they're just people, and I don't know why we treat them differently. I feel like if I don't like you as a person, then I shouldn't have to hang out with you just because we share some DNA. I don't hang out with my grandpa. If you tried to describe my grandpa to me, I would never hang out with him. Hey Chris, you want to hang out with a senior citizen? Who, when he talks about people, will whisper their ethnicity? No. I'm gonna hang out with my buddy Alex. He's my age and has a PlayStation. A watched pot never boils. A watched pot never boils. That one simply means that time feels slower while you are waiting for something. But what's the second part? A watched pot never boils, but an unwatched pot scalds babies. Yeah. It's actually a cautionary tale of negligence. And I just feel like if I'd known that second part ahead of time, I'd still be allowed to watch my sister's kids. Uncle Chris is sorry. I drank too much. It gets me into trouble. The other night I drank way too much and I accidentally hooked up with a minor. Clap it up if you ever hooked up with a minor. I don't always get a clap for that, but when I do, it's exactly who you thought I was gonna be. Now, it was disgusting. She had to get up super early the next day. I was like, where are you going? And she was like, well, coal wasn't gonna mine itself. Oh, I'm sorry. What did you think I meant? We're gonna put a pin in that. I was like, oh, and she's like, what, you didn't think that there were female coal miners? And I was like, no, I didn't know they hired 15-year-olds. That's exactly what you thought I meant. She's really mature for age. I'll probably see her again. Oh, shit. I'm gonna need to go to church after that joke. Which is really inconvenient because I just went to church on Sunday. That's right, I had confession. Oh, I'm not Catholic, I just popped in real quick to brag. Yeah. He was like, tell me your sins, my son. I was like, well, Father, I committed adultery. Like a motherfucker. And I had to say 45 Hail Marys, AKA new high score. Now seems like a good time to put some rumors to bed. Once and for all, no, I am not a serial killer. Please stop saying that. I just said that if I was, I would start doing stand-up just to throw everyone off. Then I don't know, I'd probably joke about it openly. I feel like a serial killer really get off on the thrill of that. By a round of applause, who here lives alone? That's just unrelated. No, I'm not a serial killer, but I am an Asian guy. And as an Asian guy, did you laugh at that? As an Asian guy, I noticed that if you're brown and have a mustache, everyone just assumes you're Hispanic. And if you think that sounds racist, I think you should know that 99% of the people that think that are Hispanic. Yeah. People try to speak Spanish to me every day of my life aggressively. It's so bad to the point when I tell them I don't speak Spanish, they don't go, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were Hispanic. They go right to being disappointed in me as a young Hispanic American. Which, to recap, I am not. I always get a lecture, it's always the same lecture. Oh, you don't even speak your own language? What were your parents doing while you were young? Well, my parents were Asian. So they weren't teaching me Spanish instead of English. Breaking some kind of weird world record for most elaborate prank of all time. That would have been mucho fucked up. I'll leave with this. I like to stay up to date with current events. So let me guys ask you this, you guys seem pretty hip. Why do they keep letting Liam Neeson make Taken movies? There's like 3 Taken movies. How many times is his family getting kidnapped before they're like, you know what? Maybe he's just a bad dad. If you think you're a bad parent, just count how many times your family's been kidnapped. If it's less than 3, cut yourself some slack. You're doing a lot better than Liam Neeson. The only way a 4th movie would make sense is if his family was taken by social services. You'd be on the phone with them like, I have a very particular set of skills. I'm like, oh, sorry, parenting isn't one of them. Click. You guys have been great. Thank you guys so much.